Some insane breaking news coming out of the entertainment world, or at least the reality TV part of the world, in which we are finding that Lauren Sanchez, who recently got married to billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is now in a war of words.
But I also think that Lauren Sanchez, we talk about this all the time, the more someone protests to the contrary, the more likely the opposite is to be true. Lauren Sanchez living her best life? I don't think so. I think she's paying a very, very, very high price.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Top Celebripedia. Buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the juiciest, most jaw-dropping celebrity scandals of the decade. It's a story of love, betrayal, billion-dollar lawsuits, and a wedding that went from fairy tale to fiasco faster than you can say Prime Day.
They would choose to stay in a relationship that is characterized by bullying, fear, and panic.
I'm talking about Jeff Bezos, the Amazon titan, and Lauren Sanchez, his glamorous ex-wife, whose love imploded in a way no one saw coming. This isn't just a breakup, it's a billionaire battle that's left the world stunned. So grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's unpack this wild ride.
I think that the divorce and the affair definitely showed a side of Jeff Bezos that we weren't aware of, and I think it did make some investors nervous. It kind of showed a more reckless or a more personal side of his life, which I do think was kind of concerning to some people.
Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez get married because that's what you do when you are Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. You invite only your close, you're literally one of the richest men in the world, worth $250 billion.
Just months ago, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez were the power couple everyone envied. A $50 million wedding in Venice, Italy, with A-list guests, private jets, and enough glitz to make Hollywood jealous. But behind the Instagram perfect smiles, trouble was brewing. Whispers of a disastrous wedding, leaked secrets, and a shocking $5 billion lawsuit turned their love story into a global spectacle.
Well, look at what she's done and how she's led her life.
Divorce is expected to finalize within the next 90 days.
How did it all go so wrong? And what does this saga reveal about wealth, power, and betrayal? Let's break it down. For those new to this drama, let's rewind.
Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez had a prime day at their wedding. The two said "I do" in Venice, Italy on Friday.
Some insane breaking news coming out of the entertainment world, or at least the reality TV part of the world, in which we are finding that Lauren Sanchez, who recently got married to billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is now in a war of words with the Kardashians. And not just Kim Kardashian, but Kourtney Kardashian, and then the other one that I forget her name. Those three are in a war with Lauren Sanchez over what happened at Lauren Sanchez's wedding.
Jeff Bezos, worth over $250 billion, built Amazon into a global empire. Lauren Sanchez, a former TV host turned media mogul, caught his eye in 2018. Their affair rocked headlines, ending Bezos' 25-year marriage to Mackenzie Scott. By 2024, they were married in a lavish Venetian ceremony dubbed the Wedding of the Century. But what started as a fairy tale ended in a courtroom nightmare.
I just feel like the excessiveness of it is meant, it's the same thing as like fanning out your money and with a middle finger in front of it for the paparazzi. That's who it is, because they call the paparazzi. I am 100% convinced.
Yeah, all of these people don't know really what goes on behind closed doors between a couple. Only the two of them know, and they've decided to end it in a very graceful and civil manner and classy manner, and I think that matters.
Today, we'll explore the wedding chaos, the explosive lawsuit, and the dark secrets that tore them apart. Plus, stick around for the end, where we'll debunk the social media myths and set the record straight on what really happened. This story has it all: love, money, power, and betrayal. And trust me, you won't believe the twists. Let's start with that infamous wedding. The wedding that sparked it all. Picture this: Venice, Italy, summer of 2024. Gondolas gliding through canals, historic palaces glowing under golden sunlight, and a $50 million wedding that promised to be the event of the century. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez pulled out all the stops. We're talking 3 days of festivities, private performances by A-list artists, and a guest list packed with Hollywood elites, tech moguls, and even royalty. The couple spared no expense. Custom designer gowns, rare vintage wines, and a fireworks display that lit up the Venetian sky. Social media was buzzing with hashtags like #Bezos wedding and #billionaire love. It was the moment everyone was talking about. But here's where things get messy. What was supposed to be a flawless display of wealth and romance turned into a PR disaster. Guests started leaking details to the press. And let me tell you, they weren't singing praises. Reports described the event as chaotic, poorly managed, and, get this, cheap for a billionaire's standards. Inadequate accommodations, subpar food, and logistical nightmares left attendees stunned. One guest reportedly called it a $50 million train wreck. How does that even happen when you're Jeff Bezos, the king of precision and efficiency? Insiders revealed that Lauren Sanchez took the reins on planning, insisting on micromanaging every detail. From the floral arrangements to the menu, she wanted it all to scream extravagance. But sources say her obsession with perfection backfired. Vendors were reportedly unpaid or underpaid, leading to substandard service. Guests complained about cold hors d'oeuvres, malfunctioning sound systems, and even a lack of basic amenities like enough restrooms. For a couple worth $250 billion, it was unthinkable. Tabloids pounced, calling the wedding tacky and accusing Bezos and Sanchez of being out of touch. Social media was ruthless. Memes flooded X, mocking everything from the couple's over-the-top spending to the rumored cardboard-tasting cake. Some even claimed Lauren got into a heated spat with event planners during the reception, allegedly storming off in tears. And then there was the Kardashian drama. Yes, those Kardashians. Rumors swirled that Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe, invited as VIP guests, clashed with Lauren over the wedding's disorganization. Sources say Kourtney called it an embarrassment, sparking a war of words that played out in cryptic X posts. Whether it was shade or just gossip, it added fuel to the fire.
For Jeff Bezos, this was more than just bad press. Friends say he was humiliated. The man who built Amazon on meticulous detail and customer satisfaction saw his reputation take a hit. Sources close to Bezos claim he blamed Lauren for the fiasco, accusing her of reckless spending and poor decisions. Private dinners turned into shouting matches, and their once glamorous vacations were marred by tension. The fairy tale was crumbling, and the world was watching, but nobody could have predicted what came next. Behind closed doors, the cracks in their relationship were growing. And soon, those cracks would lead to one of the most shocking lawsuits in celebrity history: the $5 billion lawsuit. Fast forward to early 2025. The world was still buzzing about the Venetian wedding flop when news broke that sent shockwaves through the billionaire sphere. Jeff Bezos, the man who seemed to have it all, filed a massive $5 billion lawsuit against his own wife, Lauren Sanchez. Yes, you heard that right, $5 billion, and against the woman he'd married just months earlier. The legal documents were explosive, accusing Sanchez of betrayal, breach of trust, and causing severe emotional damage. This wasn't just a divorce filing, it was a full-on war. According to the filings, Bezos claimed Sanchez deliberately leaked sensitive information to the media. We're talking private texts, emails, and even secretly recorded conversations that painted Bezos in a bad light. His legal team alleged that Sanchez conspired with unnamed insiders to embarrass him publicly, tarnishing his image as a businessman and philanthropist. They painted her as a calculated manipulator, driven by resentment and greed,
using her proximity to Bezos to gain power and profit. The accusations were staggering, and the world was left wondering, could this be true? The courtroom became a battleground. Bezos' legal team brought out the big guns, presenting what they called irrefutable evidence. Leaked messages showed Sanchez allegedly discussing plans to humiliate Bezos with unidentified collaborators. Witnesses testified about private investigators uncovering encrypted communications and hidden payments linked to Sanchez. One bombshell was a secret audio recording where Sanchez was heard venting about Bezos, calling him controlling and hinting at wanting to teach him a lesson. The evidence was damning, and it left the courtroom and the public speechless. But the drama didn't stop there. When Lauren Sanchez took the stand, it was like something out of a Hollywood thriller. She walked in confident, dressed to the nines, but that confidence crumbled under cross-examination. Bezos' lawyers confronted her with the recordings, forcing her to admit she'd shared personal details about their relationship. She insisted it wasn't malicious, claiming she was just venting to friends. But the jury wasn't buying it. Transcripts revealed she'd discussed sensitive Amazon business details, and financial records showed mysterious transfers to offshore accounts, allegedly to fund her media leaks. The trial was a media circus. X was ablaze with hashtags like hashtag Bezos versus Sanchez and hashtag billion-dollar-betrayal. Some called Sanchez a gold digger who got what she deserved. Others saw her as a victim of Bezos' ruthless power. Commentators debated whether the lawsuit was about justice or revenge. After all, $5 billion is pocket change for a man worth $250 billion. So why go after her so hard? Insiders say Bezos felt deeply betrayed, not just personally, but professionally. His reputation as a meticulous leader was at stake, and he wasn't about to let it slide. After weeks of testimony, the jury delivered a verdict that shook the world. Bezos won, and Sanchez was ordered to pay a staggering $5 billion. The judgment was unanimous, concluding that Sanchez had orchestrated a campaign to damage Bezos' reputation. Overnight, she went from glamorous billionaire wife to a woman facing financial ruin. The media went wild, with headlines screaming, "Bezos' billion-dollar victory" and "Sanchez's fall of grace." But the story wasn't over yet. The aftermath would reveal even more about this tangled saga. The aftermath and public reaction. The verdict was in, and Jeff Bezos walked away victorious. But victory came with a cost. The world was divided. Some praised Bezos for standing up to what they saw as a calculated betrayal. Others slammed him, accusing him of using his wealth to crush Sanchez. X exploded with opinions. Some called it justice, others called it vengeance. One post summed it up. Bezos didn't need the $5 billion, he just wanted to win. And when he did, but at what price? For Lauren Sanchez, the fallout was brutal. She lost sponsorship deals, social connections, and her place in elite circles. Paparazzi caught her looking somber, a far cry from the radiant jet-setter we'd seen months earlier. Friends say she was blindsided by the lawsuit's scale, expecting a private settlement, not a public crucifixion. Meanwhile, Bezos retreated from the spotlight, letting his legal victory speak for itself. But the court of public opinion was less kind. Critics argued he'd turned a personal dispute into a global spectacle, tarnishing his own image in the process. The saga also sparked bigger questions about wealth and relationships. Can love survive under the weight of billions? Does power amplify trust or destroy it? The Bezos-Sanchez scandal became a case study in how money magnifies drama. Their $50 million wedding, once a symbol of extravagance, now stood as a cautionary tale about excess and ego. Commentators pointed out that the couple's need to flaunt their wealth set the stage for their downfall. As one ex-user put it, "When you're that rich, every move is a headline, and every mistake is a catastrophe." But let's talk about what this means for Bezos. Yes, he won the lawsuit, but his reputation took a hit. The man once seen as an untouchable innovator was now viewed as a ruthless billionaire willing to destroy his ex-wife. Some investors even expressed concern, noting that the scandal revealed a reckless emotional side of Bezos that could affect Amazon's stability. Meanwhile, Sanchez is fighting to rebuild. Reports say she's planning a tell-all book to share her side. But with $5 billion hanging over her, recovery won't be easy. This story isn't just about billionaires behaving badly. It's about the human cost of fame, wealth, and betrayal. Jeff and Lauren's saga remind us that no matter how much money you have, it can't shield you from heartbreak or the consequences of your choices. As we wrap up, let's clear up some myths that have been swirling on social media. All right, let's set the record straight. Social media has been a hotbed of rumors about this case, and not everything you've read is true. First off, the idea that Lauren Sanchez was in a war with the Kardashians? Overblown. Yes, there were reports of tension at the wedding, but the narrative of a full-blown feud with Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe was mostly tabloid fodder. Sources confirm the Kardashians were frustrated with the event's disorganization, but there's no evidence of a personal vendetta. Ex-posts claiming Lauren shaded them online were likely misinterpreted. Let's be real, when you're at a $50 million wedding, a cold appetizer isn't worth a Twitter war. Another myth? That Bezos sued Sanchez purely for revenge? Well, emotions clearly played a role. The lawsuit wasn't just about hurt feelings. Legal documents showed concrete evidence of leaks that damaged Bezos' reputation and Amazon's image. Those secret recordings and financial transactions weren't made up. They were presented in court and swayed the jury. That said, critics are right to question the $5 billion figure. For a man worth $250 billion, it feels more symbolic than necessary. Some argue it was a power move to send a message: don't cross Jeff Bezos. Then there's the claim that Sanchez is now bankrupt. Not quite. Yes, $5 billion is a massive hit, but Lauren has her own wealth from her media career and investments. She's not destitute, but the financial and social fallout is real. Ex-posts painting her as a gold digger oversimplify things. Lauren was a successful TV host and entrepreneur before meeting Bezos, and sources say she genuinely loved him. The betrayal, if true, seems more about resentment than a master plan to ruin him. But social media loves a villain, and Lauren's been cast as one. Finally, let's address the wedding itself. Some ex-users claimed it was cursed or that the chaos was exaggerated to embarrass the couple. The truth is, it was a logistical mess, but not a conspiracy. Vendors confirmed underpayment issues, and guests corroborated the complaints. However, calling it cheap is unfair. $50 million isn't pocket change, even for Bezos. The problem was execution, not intent. Lauren's micromanaging, while well-intentioned, led to the breakdowns that fueled the backlash. So, what's the real story? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's saga is a cautionary tale about trust, ego, and the pressures of living in the public eye. The lawsuit revealed uncomfortable truths about their relationship, but social media amplified the drama into something larger than life. Bezos' victory was legally sound, but it came at the cost of his public image. Sanchez's mistakes cost her dearly, but she's not the cartoon villain some make her out to be. This is a human story, messy and complicated, and it reminds us that even billionaires can't buy their way out of heartbreak. That's it for today's deep dive. What do you think? Did Bezos go too far? Or was Sanchez's betrayal unforgivable? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more celebrity scoops. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.
The claim of a war with the Kardashians is exaggerated. No credible evidence supports a direct feud, only guest complaints about the wedding's disorganization. The lawsuit's $5 billion figure, while legally upheld, seems disproportionate, likely serving as a symbolic deterrent rather than a financial necessity for Bezos. Social media posts labeling Sanchez as a gold digger oversimplify her motives, ignoring her successful career and complex relationship dynamics. The wedding's cheap label is misleading. Issues stemmed from poor management, not lack of spending. Additionally, the transcript's suggestion that the divorce is finalized within 90 days is unconfirmed. Legal proceedings may still be ongoing. Social media has also spread unverified claims about Sanchez's bankruptcy, which are false given her personal wealth. The narrative of a cursed wedding is pure sensationalism. These distortions highlight how X and tabloids can inflate drama, turning a nuanced story into a spectacle. The truth lies in the court evidence and verified reports, not the viral rumors.